they won't be able to hear you, and it'll be really awkward because I'm recording right now. People are gonna hear me talking
Okay.
to myself.
Allow your voice to be shared. I put allow.
All right, cool. All right, well, since viewers heard that, I won't even do the intro. Season 8 playoff preview. We just got our final member of the playoffs. As you can see, we have quite a few teams with the same amount of points, so tiebreakers had to be involved. Barbas moved up past Keonard because he won their head-to-head matchup, and then Keonard and John were tied. Keonard scored more touchdowns than John, so he bumps John off. And we have Orcs, we have Lizardmen, we have Dwarves, we have Undead, Dark Elves, Skaven, and Nurgle entering the playoffs. As you can see, a lot of people got beat up.
To join Skink's
There's going
Fitness
to be a lot
Club,
of missing players.
all you need to do is sign a
top
500-year contract.
Numbers
Forfeit a
2
payment,
through 4
no
especially,
They only
they
sacrifice
have a
you to
hard time
certain.
advancing, so there's definitely going to be some upsets somewhere. How do you see this thing playing out, boss?
Yeah, I think that the Dark Elf team is riding on momentum. They had a great game against the Wood Elf team with John, and they look fairly healthy as far as injuries.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They don't have the injury bug.
Yeah, they're completely untouched. 11 players, zero treasury though. I think he purchased a Witch Elf after his match against the Wood Elves. So
he's got the 2 Witch Elves now.
He's at 11. Zero cash in the bank. But that's a really strong team. A lot of dodge, 5 blodge, got 2 sidestep, got a killer, got jump up. Man, dude.
Yeah, his blodge is impressive, and really like the skill jump up gives that team a little dynamic as far as moving around.
Yeah.
If you forget about the jump up skill, it'll really could really change the outcome of a game if you're not paying attention. And they're matched up against the Undead team for round 1.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. My boy G.R. Martin. His team is, ooh, man, oh man. Guard, block, mummy, a level 6 killer.
Yeah, so against the Dark Elves, he's looking pretty strong. He's with the 3 tackle, that's going to help him out a lot. He does have 12 players, so that'll help him out a lot. So what would the inducements look like? So he's sitting at 1380 team value.
He's gonna. I think Black Eyes was 1660.
1650. So that's about it's 280.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh dude.
So he's got 270, I think.
Yeah, I know what I take. And then in playoffs, you can use 40. The underdog can use 40K. So,
yeah, so the options are pretty wide. He's got a dirty player, so
Wizard Bribe
got
all day for me.
Yep. Wizard Bribe would be good, or even taking an extra player.
Yeah.
If he wanted to have more players, because with the removal rate from the elves from the last matchup was pretty crazy.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't know. To me, because he'll have 270, right?
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yep. 270.
Okay.
Yep.
Time for some
Now here's a gamble, because my initial thought was Wizard, which is 150, Bribe is 100, and then he's got 20K left. I'm thinking use 30K of your own treasury and also have half the babe to, basically playing with house money. You got the babe for overtime and certain, kickoff events, and and then you can file with impunity until the bribe goes out, and then you also have the wizard for the attrition on top of the 3 mighty blow that you have and the 2 tackle. I'd say do that, but then the other process is he may want to hold on to that 80K so he can purchase his mummy if he wins next match.
Right, yeah, and I think that'll be an important decision too, because you have to balance the, because it's playoff time, you got to win.
Yeah.
So do you save the money and hope you win, or do you say, I gotta use my inducements and use every advantage I have and make sure I win. So that'll be interesting to see what he decides to do when the time comes.
I've been in spots like this, and I've dropped a reroll to give myself even more money, so I don't have to spend the money, and then I would basically guarantee that I can purchase that mummy afterwards.
For your money.
That's because they share the vault with.
Yeah, because that would give him an additional 70K, so that'll bump him to 300.
Yeah, on top of the 40
that he can spend from his treasury. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll bump him to 320. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the wizard bribe is pretty good. I mean, unless there's a star player that could help him, do some damage, or I don't know what star players the undead have access to. I'm not super familiar with them, so maybe. Oh, what about Ramtut?
No, he's like 380, and he has.
He's 380.
Mighty blow. He's got wrestle and like break tackle. He's one of the worst star players in the game.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of who he had access to.
He has that Se8 dude. He's really good. He has strength 4, blitz raw, with like he's got mighty blow. He's got jump up. He's got wrestle. He's got an assortment of skills, but he's like 220 around there. So then, if you do that, you can't really get the bribe. I mean, you can get him in the bribe, or him in the wizard. Because that's no, you can't. Because that's 3. If he wanted,
because if he's 220, that would be he'd only have 50K left without dipping into his treasury.
Yeah, so then he'd have to drop the reroll if he wanted that strength 4 blitz rod plus.
That has nothing to do with my spontaneous endorsement.
That might be better than wizard bribe. I mean, that actually is better.
What, doing Se8 and
and the wizard?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's much better than bribe wizard.
Well, and he does have a zombie that's injured as well. So see what this injury is. Yeah. It might be a niggle. Yeah, it's a niggle, so it's not a horrible thing. Right. But he's sitting. Well, he is only sitting on because he's got an injured ghoul that's missing this game.
Yeah, he's only at 11. He's no mummy, and only 2 ghouls. I think he has to go the extra player for the strength, and just let that Palmer loose. Like, being down the mummy is actually helping him because the mummy wasn't going to do a lot against Black Eyes' team anyway. So this is more like giving him a real shot to win. So don't even focus on the fact. I wouldn't, if I were him, I wouldn't feel. I know it was a really good mummy that he lost, but if that mummy was there, he'd only have like 40K.
Yes, I saw your infamous after-dinner speech
I'd buy that skeleton in the wizard, drop the reroll, go down to 2.
The following riot was really quite wonderful.
Let the Palmer lead the way. And
and he really used him effectively against the dwarves and then that last week, and he actually removed quite a bit of dwarves from the field with that player. So I wouldn't count this team out with the killer. He was very effective with his killer. He did put his killer on the ground quite a bit with the piling on, and I think he's got to be far more selective with the piling on, because he does have jump up, so that helps with movement after he gets up. So that's very nice.
Right.
Very nice flavor to that player there.
So that's the matchup there. So what matchup is that? So that's 1. So that's 4 versus 5.
Yep. And then what do we got? So we got the Lizard Men at 2, and they would be playing against Nurgle, right?
They'd be playing
at 7.
Kianard.
Oh, against Kianard, the Skaven.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got the Lizards versus the Skaven.
Alright, let's go. Who do you want to start with?
We can start with the Lizards. They are the 2 seed. So we will look at them.
They're both banged up. Yeah, he's missing his super skink.
Really magical.
Agility 4,
That's a trade
sidestep,
secret, Jim.
jump up, sprint, sure feet. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's an
What a
unfortunate injury.
And he's missing his block, Croxagore.
Wow.
I don't know who wins this one, dude.
Yeah, because there's only 6 sources here, and 2 of them don't have the block.
Yeah. 6
and
Taurus.
yeah, so he's only sitting on 10 players, so he's going to have a skink also, so that's going to bump it up to 60k, and it's a loner skink, so he's going to be sitting at 1400 team value.
Man. The good old 6 Saurus, 5 skinks, dude. Oh man. Yeah, I'm not even. I mean,
Best way to impress your shareholders.
So the interesting part of this matchup is that it is a direct rematch from the previous week.
oh really?
Yes, so they played in match day 7,
Yeah, they did.
and the Lizards took it down 2-1. So
I see
Let's
that
see what-
Saurus got MVP. Typical for Blood Bowl 2.
oh yes, absolutely.
Ooh.
Uh,
Kianard outblocked him 53 to 44. And had 5 injuries on him.
wow, so we got some banger Skaven.
Yeah. Yeah, look at all that. He had Glart. That's my guy. I hate that they nerfed him in 2020. Skaven are my favorite race, and Glart was like my top 2 favorite star players. Now he's just a fat, pudgy, slow Skaven with claws. Ugh, awful. But yeah, let's see what he did to him. Just a lot of blocks. A lot of piles. Vorak had a lot of piles too, but
Yeah, well, and the Lizards will have an inducement package.
how much are they gonna
It's looking at 160k for inducements.
A whiter shade of pale.
Yep. So he could go Wizard Babe.
have?
That's a pretty simple package there, and this Skaven team is looking pretty mighty.
Really? What?
Because he's got a Rat Ogre with block, and that is a nice player.
Block guard, even.
That's nice. Yeah, and he's got a nice Storm Vermin with tackle, strip ball. That's nice. That's a nice Storm Vermin.
He's got the Palmer, but he
Yep.
is missing everything else.
Yeah, it looked like he is short a Gutter Runner.
He's short 2 gutter runners.
Yep. Well, he has a 2 throwers, which that.
Well, you can thank me for getting rid of his other two gutter runners.
Still hasn't recovered from.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, let's take a little trip here into storage because I screenshot both of the players that I killed against him. So me and Keenard have a rivalry. Let's I believe they were 2 level 5 players, if memory serves. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what he gets for 1, playing my favorite race, and 2, being an absolute dice lord. Let me see. Yeah, so yeah, someone does, and he has it. Yeah, here it is. Level 4 Storm Vermin, Mighty Blow, Block, Claw, Mighty Blow, Tackle. Killed him. Yeah, so that's where that is. And then I killed his Movement 10, Blodge, Sprint, Gutter Runner. So that's what he should have in addition to that roster, and he'd be one of the favorites. But as it were, they are both dead, and so he's definitely up against it.
Yeah, because you guys played in on match day 3.
Yeah.
And he's still, it looks like he has struggled leveling up the newer players.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's it's hard mid-season to re-level guys, especially when you get hit with that shock where you don't expect your 2 best players to die.
Yeah, one death is, it happens sometimes, but 2 in one game is, and he had an apothecary too. So my question is did he do a power apo in that game against you, or did he get unlucky with it?
I'll tell you exactly what happened. So it's actually funny, that player that I ended up killing, I had his movement 10 stuck against the sideline.
They've got so many twerps.
So he was trying to save him. So he did a 3+
all my life, Jim.
dodge
I don't see
and
why I gotta
failed
take
it.
notice of him now.
And he ended up killing his own movement 10 sprint. And so he used the apple to save him. And then second half, I was able to target him and finally play him the rest. So
that player died twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because I was getting ready to. I was like getting ready to say, man, did he, apo a dead into dead? Because that, that happened to me the other day, and that's devastating.
He saved him. I don't know how people can routinely save players from death all the time, but he did.
Yeah.
So all right, so who are we picking to win that one?
Well, the Lizards do not have their super skink.
Yeah.
So picking up the ball is going to be, it's not going to be terrible.
No.
But it's not like a guarantee like it was.
Right. There's a big
and with it being agility 4, that's an excellent skink. And I think he's going to have a loner skink. He's got 2 unreliable sources. He does have a strength 5 source, which is nice.
Yeah.
But it's going to be tough. He's missing his Croxagore. So he's got, how many skinks he's going to have? He's going to have 5. So he's going to have 5 small players, and he's playing into a Rat Ogre with block. So I think he's up against it here.
Yeah, but is the Wizard Babe enough to sway your
since the last decade? Before that, the waste was, well, actually, no one knows.
I mean, it's possible that if he uses the Wizard to, at the absolute best moment, then he could steal the game.
Yeah.
Or, force it to where it goes into overtime. I haven't seen... I want to watch this matchup. So I will do that at a later point. But my initial thoughts is I would take Skaven in this one. I just think they have I think they have the advantage here. And
what's the score gonna
be? At minimum, it'll be 2-1 for the Skaven. I would say 2-1.
Yeah.
2-1 Skaven. Or if it's high scoring, maybe 3-2. But I would lean towards 2-1.
So having known both of these guys for years, they're some of my most loyal members, and I love them. Keenard plays every team like he's playing his Lizards, which gets him into trouble.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, so he swarms at every single chance. He tried to do it to me. It almost works for him. But he only has
How's the
2
missus, Bob?
gutter runners, so he can't put as much pressure on as he would like.
She took
That being said, he's still going to go for it anyway.
Sacred gut plate.
And
Cow.
he's only got 12 players. He's going to be relying on that rat ogre a lot, because he always does. He doesn't have as much as he should. I think the Lizards, because Vorak is really good at rolling piles too. I think the Lizards might take it if he doesn't leave himself wide open on the initial kickoff. I think the Lizards are gonna take it despite being battered. I think the Wizard, if he remembers to use the Wizard, because he has forgotten at points. I think the Lizards can pull it off.
Yeah, I would definitely say, if they had Super Skink, if they had him in the lineup, I would definitely pick them, because that's just an excellent player.
Yeah, but I mean,
excellent player.
He's got this. Vorak has the strength, and Keenard is going to let him hit his rats. So I think eventually something has to give.
But since it's a rematch, how much do you think he will learn from playing the Lizards? Because a 2-1 game is pretty close. So, I said, I haven't watched the matchup.
But like I said, I've known them both for years. Keenard is going to give up hits. I mean, we can look right now.
Talismans R Us
to
are
his team.
certainly making a splash
See
on
how
the
many
used arcade
blocks
item
he's given up per
retail
match.
scene.
I'd say
Let's
less
just
of
see if
splash,
there's a
more of
trend.
an incendiary fire. You just can't trust sorcerers.
We can start all the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, just from their matchup last week, the Lizards had 44 blocks against the Rats, and the Rats had 53.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the first game of the season. Against the Dwarves, Keenard gave up 61 blocks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And somehow got a tie. Against me, he gave up 45. Against Barbus, he gave up 48. Against the Chaos Dwarves, he won that one 2-0. Only gave up 33, which is about the max that you want to ever give up. Against the humans, he gave up 49. And then against the Lizards, he gave up 44. So, like I said, he's gonna let himself get hit, and he doesn't have a deep bench. He's gonna be hoping and praying that his wrestle procs over and over and over again.
Yeah, and he does have quite a bit of that wrestle. What has he got? 3 wrestle?
He's got 3, yeah.
Yeah, so those are nice skills to have on linemen.
He's got 3 wrestle, but only 4 linemen. 5 linemen.
Oh, wow.
5 linemen, yeah.
Always upgrade the meals
So
to
something goes wrong.
or else you don't get enough
You're in code red territory. You're putting the thrower on the LOS. He gets gone. Now you have to put a storm vermin on there.
Yeah. Well, and at least for him, he's got a thrower with no SPP.
Yeah.
So, definitely that's the player you put on the line after that. And then, and my question is does he put the Rat Ogre on the line of scrimmage?
He tries not to. He usually puts him in the middle of the field.
Kind of back a little bit off the line of scrimmage and in the middle.
He does like a modified ruler 5 setup. and he puts a rat ogre in the middle. And so when I played him, I went straight for the rat ogre with my killer, because I wanted it gone, because I knew that was his crutch. So I don't know if Vorak is going to do the same. He definitely can, but we'll see. So you're saying Skaven, I'm saying lizards. All right, so that's 2 matchups down. Who are the dwarves getting to play?
So the dwarves, they're the 3 seed. So they will be playing.
It got all funky on us. Are they playing the Nurgle? Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
playing
these
the
next
Nurgle
few
because
matches, Bob.
Barbas won the
Yep.
tiebreaker over Keenar. Dwarves versus Nurgle.
That's gonna be a fun game. All right,
I went to
so
the wrong Nurgle. I went to Ducks Nurgle. That hell, they only win 1 game. Sorry, I need to go to the proper Nurgle team that can win. All right, 3 wins. Ooh.
so the Gout Goats is the Nurgle team. That's the other Nurgle.
Can't win. Yeah, no, we're looking at the Nurgle team. So the Madrid Wild Rottens.
All right, we're gonna look at them first. They have a
Yeah.
lot of cash.
Yeah.
That's bloating their team value. So I wonder if they're going to be purchasing a player.
I might. I can't do it. Barbas is another one of my really loyal guys. If I could, I would message him and tell him to purchase his Beast and Nurgle back. He's gone this whole time without it.
So did he start with one, or did he die?
It died. It died game 1.
Okay, and he's been without it the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking at 90K of TV bump for being over that 150. So a Beast cost what? 140. 140.
Either 140 or 150. Actually, yeah,
Cabal Vision
140.
HD comes with a range
You put a
of
Beast on that team,
features.
and that team is
Please
perfect.
see your instruction guide for further details.
Don't
He's
be
already got the 3
stupid,
rerolls.
Jim. Nobody
Yeah,
ever
he's got the
reads
3
the
rerolls. He's
instructions.
got. Oh wow, I love how he's got guard on
yeah.
his Nurgles, on his
Guard
warriors. That's
block
a
on every single one. That's why the Beast. You get the Beast on that team, and that team is an absolute terror to deal with. That Beast is going to level up fast. He's going to get 3-die blocks all over the place. He's going to be protected. You can stick him on 3 players surrounded by guard, and they can't deal with him. I wish this was my Nurgle team, because Beast of Nurgle is my favorite big guy. And, oh man, I'd have so much fun with this team. He's got Blodge movement 4, 2 heads, 3 arm.
Oh,
Pestivore.
that is a sick player. That.
Strength 4
Wow,
killer.
what a ball carrier! What a ball carrier!
Strength 4 mighty blow claw, block tackle killer, block tackle, and he's got another killer. I wish I could tell him. I don't want to influence the playoffs. Well, man, I would tell him. Swallow your pride
he's gonna spend some of his money. He's only got 10 players, so he needs to, because if he doesn't get the Beast, then definitely fire that Rodder, and then buy a new one.
Magazine.
And then, hell, he can probably buy, because if he doesn't do the Beast, he could fire that Rodder,
He could buy like 4.
rehire it, and then buy 2 or 3 more.
Yeah.
If he wants to go that route.
Yeah, dude. You get the Beast, especially against the dwarves. You get the Beast, and you just you turn.
Yeah. So what I would do if I had this roster, I would get the Beast. So that's 140. So that drops you down to 100, and then I would buy another Rodder.
Yeah, because you don't.
That way you're at 12.
Yeah. And then you.
So this team looks.
Yeah, and then you don't care that you're that much higher than the dwarves, because, like we said earlier, the dwarves are going to be 1560 anyway. and they have 5 guard. They don't have nearly as much guard as they would have. They lost some really good players. They have the one really good runner up there. Yeah, no, I like that Nurgle team.
Yeah, they're so the dwarf team value right now, because they're sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're sitting on 10 players, so they're gonna have to have a journeyman unless they spend. Oh, they can't afford anything.
Can't. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to go in with 10 players.
Yeah, so they're gonna the loner dwarf, so it's gonna be another 70.
Did you know? It's rumored that Spike magazine editor Yuri Renault actually hates sport and would rather play with action figures instead.
That's not where you want to be against that Nurgle team.
To do with him bad-mouthing me.
Yeah, so 1550 against. So if you reduce that by 90, that's at 1570. You add the 140 Bs, that's 17.
1710.
Yeah, so he'll be sitting at about 1710 compared to the 1530. So that's about 200k, roughly.
Yeah. This is more like 180.
Yeah, I honestly, the Nurgle, they have the strength, they have the guard. They won't have a loner. The dwarves have a nice runner, but it's not as good as this.
Don't care. Yeah, you almost don't care that the dwarves can buy a wizard, and then you just carry on a Rotter, and you force him to lightning bolt the Rotter, get impatient, lightning bolt the Rotter, but you're gonna fight those dwarves all day long with that Nurgle team.
Yeah, I could easily lean, 2-0 Nurgle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, at least.
I think 2-0 would be a score I would be comfortable with. I think this is a breeze of a matchup for Nurgle. They've got the strength and the guard, because that's typically how a dwarf team will beat you, is have more guard. And they don't.
Yeah, and Barbas and Mr. Perfect have been playing each other often each competition that we do. So they're familiar with each other, and they actually look forward to every time that they play each other. So it won't be, they won't take it lightly. So that's, yeah. So we're in agreement on the Nurgle. I have a bye week because of the way that we did it. I didn't want half the teams, more than half of the list making the playoffs. So I'll have a bye week. But we can still go over my team before we sign off here, just so everyone can see it. Called Death's Right Hand. This is their last and final season. We won season 5, missed the playoffs in season 6, so we're looking to finish this season with a championship and win 2 out of the 3. Love my Black Orcs. I scored quite a few touchdowns with all of them. We were talking off stream last night, or 2 nights ago. I scored 13 touchdowns between the 4 of them. And then we got the Blitzers, who are the backbone of the team. They all complement each other. Mr. Blitzer / Super Thrower is always steady and
Yeah, I was looking at the team. I was like, why does he have his thrower in his blitzer block there on his roster? And then I'm like, oh shit. And then I was looking, and I was like, fuck, he don't have a thrower. There's no thrower on this team. So this is a So this is a that's one thing too, is that you're gonna have a blitzer ball carrier, so that's one less piece to fight with. But you do have a strength 4 lineman, so that compensates the fact that you don't have your blitzer in the action, because you don't have a natural ball carrier. You did develop him into a ball carrier, but my question to you is, did you ever have a thrower, or did you deliberately build this team?
It's always every orc team I ever play. I build my throwers like this. Even if they don't get agility 4, it's always sure hands first. And it's
always one of your blitzers, never.
Always. Yeah, always.
So your build is 4 black orcs, 4 blitzers, 3 linemen.
And 2 linemen and a troll, and 2 rerolls.
Oh, okay. So did you lose a troll this season?
Well, I've lost 3. Not lost. I've decided to cut my troll 3 times throughout the season, based on the matchup. In my matchup against John, he and I were just a similar TV, so I dropped my troll and shaved, because my troll had guard.
What are we gonna get to see again?
So I dropped my troll, which shaved off 130 of my TV, and which made myself and John, if you can believe it, he and I were, he was higher TV than I was. So I was able to get a babe.
The wood elves are pretty expensive, so I can see that.
Yeah, but I mean, you can see all the levels I have, so it's hard to believe that he and I were even, but we were at the time. And then I repurchased him a few weeks after that, and then I decided to drop him again because I was playing. I want to say I was playing the Skaven, and I didn't want to give them, and so I dropped him again, and then I haven't purchased him back since.
Okay, so my question for you then is, you have an injured lineman that's missing this next game. Are you going to fire that player and then replace him to have that extra player, or are you just going to ride with what the roster looks like now?
Let's see, we got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Because you do have 170, so you're going to have to shave 20K to not bloat your team value at all. So,
yeah, I mean, when he got hurt in the last game of the season, I let it go for that exact reason.
Did you know? Back in 24, the experiment.
Well, depending on what happens, I might just go with 11. Depending on who I face, like if Black Eyes doesn't advance, what I would do, like say, so we do have 3 dodge teams in here. If so say we're right about the Black Eyes GR Martin matchup. If the Undead win, I could see myself getting rid of that lineman with tackle to shave off 70.
So to remind you of our previous matchup we were talking about, we really love the Nurgle team in that matchup.
Yeah.
So would that Nurgle team be the 7th seed team?
Yeah.
Because if they were, that would be...
No, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I mean. It doesn't go, the Blood Bowl, the algorithm, it doesn't go off of seeding after the first round. Everything gets jumbled, and they have their own method of play. Like, I was 1st seed, and my buddy was 2nd seed, and we ended up playing in the 2nd round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
So it's totally random. But so like that's what I'm saying. If GR wins and the Dark Elves lose, and then if like I said, I think Borak's gonna win, but then he'll have his super skink back. So regardless, I'm keeping the tackle guy, and then I just get rid of that lineman. Depending on who I face, I'd even drop another lineman just to keep my TV even lower, and then just ride with 11. So those are the only alterations I'd make on the team.
But either way, you're going to shave. You won't have the 170K. That'll be spent. Whether you keep the team the way it is and you hire and fire 2 leaders to reduce that down to 150.
Right.
So your team value would be, 1790 if you did that.
Yeah. So we're looking at either 1790 or 17. 20 at the lowest. So yeah, that's the team.
Don't forget,
I'll show you
to
guys.
enhance your stadium, it must be
Overall,
of a sufficient size.
we're 22-6-3 in 3 seasons. First season went 5-2-0, and then 3-0 in the playoffs, won the championship. Second season went 2-2-3, missed the playoffs. Preseason we went 4-0, 5-0. So, hoping to send these guys off in the sunset. 110 Kazes, 50 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think this team is going to absolutely be one of the favorites to going in for the finals, because it's just the way the team is built and the way it behaves and the way they're played. It's going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
You know, because a good 40% of the blocks that go against your team are going to be against your stand firm pieces.
Right. Yeah.
And then half of those blocks are pushes. So,
right. And then the retaliation blocks, as me and my buddy from Italy like to call them, are going to be very vicious when they do get stuck on stand firm. Because all of them have guard and all of them have mighty blow blocks. So yeah, as long as I play them well, it should end poorly for the opponent. Either when they choose to fight or when I choose to force them to fight by basing them. So I'm loving it. I can't wait to see who I play in round 2. And yeah, we'll hopefully, if the guys let us know when they play, we can like live cast them. That'd be sweet. Do a little play-by-play breakdown. But I want to thank everybody for watching. We'll catch you guys next time. I want to thank Boz for joining me in the booth.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure. Like I said, I'm happy we started doing this. I've been absolutely dying to do this, so we'll definitely do this more often.
Back in
And
2479.
catch you guys on the other side. Bye.